Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 2 crashed in, broke into our hearts, and is now about to ride off into the sunset. Today I wanted to take some time to look back at the season and discuss what I liked, didn't like, and what I hope to see in the future. Make sure to like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you have not already, and without further ado, let's go ahead and tune in to the wild world of Fortnite Lawless. So to set the scene, let's first discuss the map. This map was all the good things about Chapter 6 Season 1, with a few new additions added in to spice things up. I personally really liked these additions. We'll talk more about vaults and black markets in a moment, but they added some great reasons to check out the new POIs and move around the map. Crime City was such a vibe with its transition from day to night when you entered the city limits, and Fletcher Kane's mansion represents the over-the-top lifestyle of that gaudy, furry baron just perfectly. The main thing I can say about the map of Lawless is that it feels very cohesive, and everything lends itself well to the gameplay loop that Epic clearly wanted us to focus on this season. Speaking of, the map is important for setting the scene, but a live service game lives or dies by its gameplay. The main focal point of the season was breaking into vaults and armored trucks, collecting gold and dill bits, and then spending them at black market locations strewn about the map. Well, this was the main focus, until it became clear that dropping at black markets and opening the special crate was a much more effective way of playing, netting you a dill bit early that you can use to buy an exotic within the first 30 seconds of the game. For what it's worth, I really enjoyed the gameplay of Lawless, and I covered it in a previous video, but I do feel like things got a little off the rails after the whole special supply cache keycard thing really took off. And the sad thing is, we never really corrected for it. I would have liked to see those exotics cost more dill bits to try and offset this, and it was kind of getting ridiculous getting to endgame with everybody having these super stacked loadouts, but Epic never really addressed it, so hopefully they can make some changes moving forward to make sure we don't get in the same situation in future seasons. An outlaw is only as good as their tools, and thankfully, I think we got access to some pretty damn good ones this season. The weapons and items saw some shakeups comparative to Chapter 6 Season 1, but maybe not in a big enough way for some people. If you played last season, you know that the Hollow Twister weapons were a menace. So I was a little bit surprised to see the return of the Hollow Twister AR when Lawless dropped. I tried to branch out and try some of the other weapons on offer, but a lot of the time I felt like I was intentionally handicapping myself by choosing literally anything else. Another item that caused a lot of waves was our friend the Typhoon Blade Reborn, aka the Kneecapper baseball bat. I remember at the end of last season, people were so relieved that the blade was going to be vaulted, only for the Kneecapper bat to pretty much be the exact same thing minus the air dash movement. Joke's on them, I guess. Up-close melee spam is painful enough, but I know a lot of people had some issues with being knocked off of high ground and mountains in the beginning of the season. It felt like there was no real way to counter the fall damage, at least until the Sub-Zero Gauntlet and Rocket Drill released. Then things got slightly more manageable. At least you had a somewhat counter to the fall damage, but I know that the bat still annoyed people. Some viewers pointed out that there should have been a limit to the alternate fire big swing mode, maybe some sort of cooldown or something, and I definitely agree with that. People were kind of just overusing it and abusing it. As it is right now, there's no real punishment for going in for a big swing because you can just immediately wind up and try again after running around for a quick second to reset. I don't know. I know this item caused a lot of grief for people, so hopefully if it does come back out of the vault in a future season, it gets some adjustments. There were a lot of weapons that I really don't want to take too much time on, but for the most part I did find them all pretty fun and effective this season. Special shoutouts go to the Plasma Burst rifle thing and the Pump and Dump Shotgun SMG combo, my personal favorite. There were also the previously mentioned Sub-Zero gauntlets, which definitely made it feel like you were fighting for the honor of the Lin Kuei. And actually that transitions me nicely to the collabs and characters we saw this season. Now, I want to touch on some of these briefly because I want to make sure I can look back and remember this season well, but this video is already going to be long enough, so let's make it quick. Mortal Kombat was the big collab in Lawless. I mentioned in a previous video I have a soft spot in my heart for Mortal Kombat because it's one of the few games my non-gamer wife plays, so I enjoyed seeing Sub-Zero in the Battle Pass, and I liked the additions to the map when Scorpion arrived. I enjoyed the Scorpion epic, but when one of my viewers pointed out that it's basically just a reskin of the Chains of Hades from Chapter 5, that kind of deflated the hype a little bit for me. I wasn't around back then, but just to know that the game is recycling old items with a new coat of paint makes it a little sad for me. Definitely a product of the game being around this long and just dropping so many updates and new items so frequently, but I hope we see more unique stuff in the future. I got to meet my boy Skillet this season, and I can definitely see myself using his skin in the future. In terms of Battle Pass characters, I'll quickly rattle off my thoughts at the end of the season here so you can compare them to my initial thoughts in my previous video. Cassidy Quinn really grew on me. I was really surprised by that. I think she's a lot cooler than I initially gave her credit for. I still really like Keisha Cross and Valentina, and the rest of the skins seem just okay to me. I don't really see myself using Joss again, honestly, and I know some people really dig her style and that's fine, but it doesn't really do much for me. Fletcher Kane is kind of in the same boat. He kind of seems like a missed opportunity to me as well. We heard about how much of an issue he was for the island, but short of upping taxes on vending machines and being a slight inconvenience when he shows up at the vault you were trying to crack, he didn't really do too much. I never really felt like he was a big threat, and was kind of hoping he would do more story-wise to establish himself as the big bad, but maybe that's just me. Midas had his glorious return, and honestly, I am glad that I have this skin for him. I know everyone's burnt out on Midas and didn't want another skin, but I think it's cool and it fits the season, and I am happy to have it, okay? Last but not least, we have our boy Big Dill. You know, I really can't see myself using this skin beyond this season, honestly. I still feel the same way. But one thing that I can't deny and I can't take away from Big Dill is that when I think back to Lawless years down the road, he will definitely be the character that immediately comes to mind. He's clearly the signature character of this season, and I guess in that way he wins the big prize, but yeah, outside of any meme-themed parties I join in the future or something, I don't think I'm gonna take my briny buddy out of the locker. So that was Chapter 6, Season 2, Lawless. In my humblest of opinions, this was a very solid season. There were some missteps throughout, but in general, I enjoyed my time. As of right now, Lawless would be slightly below Hunters for me in terms of my favorite seasons, but that could just be nostalgia, honestly. I will have to keep you guys posted once we move on and I can look back at this season with my 2020 nostalgia goggles and see where it compares. As I'm sure you know by now, Chapter 6 Season 3 is Star Wars themed, and it will also be a little bit of a shorter season. I was a big fan of the original trilogy when I was a kid, so I'm interested to see what Fortnite can bring to the table to capture that classic Star Wars magic. More than that though, I am eagerly looking forward to what Epic will learn from these previous seasons and change to improve our player experience going forward. Yeah man, I'm excited to check out something fresh and new, so bring it on and I'll do my absolute best to bring you guys some amazing content when that new season does drop. It won't be long now, so make sure you guys get hyped to see those new videos. I will put them out as soon as I can get them together and edited. To those of you who joined me on this journey through Chapter 6 Season 2, or even before that, thank you so much for spending time with me. I really appreciate having amazing conversations with you guys, so make sure you give me your thoughts on Lawless in the comments down below. Also, a super big shout out to all of my channel members. I couldn't do this without you guys, so thank you so much for that support. If you want early access to my videos and other exclusives, all while keeping this channel going, please consider joining down below. Also, don't forget to use code Haunted House in the Fortnite item shop so you can pick up all that Season 3 stuff and support the channel while you do it. It would really mean a lot if you could do that. Hashtag ad and all that jazz. But with all that said, I'm going to the swamps of Dagobah to meditate on the ways of the Force. Hopefully all of that can help me get some more wins. Thank you all so much for the love and support, and as always, make sure to eat well, stay hydrated, take care of yourself and those around you. And I'll see you in the next one, friends.